On the way to Dullstroom, I decided to take a side road. It was a gravel road, and to start off with, all looked okay. After a while, a couple of laden coal trucks came past. The road also deteriorated quite markedly, and in conjunction with the surface of the road and the coal trucks, I decided it wasn't worth taking the risk of remaining on this road, so I turned around. There was a turn-off to Dullstroom on the right. The road appeared to be all right, and I basically had no choice, but I had to take this road, otherwise I'd have had to turn back or do a major detour. Initially, the road went through a very small village. There wasn't any traffic on the road. As I progressed, I got further and further out of the little village into the rural area, and after a while I basically was riding in amongst the farms. The longer I rode, the deeper I got into the rural areas, and it was beautiful. There was a little bit of traffic on the road, a couple of saloon cars, a couple of farm vehicles, tractors, buckies, but nothing too serious, and nothing too big. Certainly no coal trucks. As you can see, the weather was quite good. A couple of clouds in the sky, warm, very little wind. I stopped a couple of times to check that I'm on the right road. As I progressed, the condition of the road deteriorated, but nothing too serious. Another turn-off. After checking my map, I had to carry on straight. I'm not sure where the road to the right would eventually lead to. I was looking for a place to stop to have a rest. The place that I did stop at wasn't suitable. After a couple of seconds, I didn't even get off the bike and continued on my way looking for another spot. Due to the rain of the past couple of days or so, the condition of the road deteriorated a bit. There were a lot of ruts on the road. However, I managed to find a path along the road that was quite suitable for a motorbike. I came across this spot under a tree and it was quite suitable for a rest. I stayed there for a couple of minutes. A couple of cars came past while I was having a rest. After a few minutes, I resumed my journey, and as one can see, the road became a little bumpy. Just checking which way I must go. Initially I thought I would go straight, but I had to go left. Fortunately, I consulted my map. The conditions of the road deteriorated quite a bit. A lot of rocks on the road, quite a lot of ruts. Still very rideable and quite enjoyable to be able to negotiate these conditions. A lot of mud on the road, crossing a low-level bridge. The conditions started to tax my limited riding ability on gravel. was a bit of a rough patch. I was very pleased when I was able to negotiate this section and getting on the other side unscathed. One of the few occurrences of a vehicle overtaking me. I came through this huge puddle of water across the road. In retrospect, I probably should have tried to go along the left-hand channel, but by the time I saw that channel, I was probably too far gone towards the puddle. I decided to just go for it and just hope for the best that there were no rocks or big potholes under the water. Had there been, it could have been a totally different story. back on a paved surface after quite a lot of gravel riding. I'm back in an urban environment. I'm on the outskirts of Dullstroom. I'm about to cross a railway line. Believe it or not, there are quite a few trains that travel along these tracks during the day and night. I'm approaching my final destination for the day, campground on the dam in Dullstroom. That was the end of the day's riding, which I was quite relieved about. Quite a baptism of fire for me for riding on gravel, and I think I came through quite unscathed.